News.
Thanks very much, Andrew. And as we told you, our reporter Andrew Cannon, he's actually still out on the streets trying to glean as much information as possible on this situation that has been unfolding for hours, days now, even in the Tivoli Gardens community. And threats have been issued on the Radio Jamaica Communications Group. Kingsley Roberts, who visited the company this afternoon, gave us an update earlier. What did you observe, Kingsley?
Well, when we got there, it was quite obvious that they were beefing up security. We saw a King Alarm team out in front of the offices of the RGR group. The shutters were also down, and very few persons could be seen milling about the place. And what I can tell you is that earlier this afternoon, the RGR group received word from the police that there was a specific and credible threat to the company's operations in Kingston. The group says it is taking very seriously the threat, even as its team tries to provide balanced and responsible coverage of the present situation to the Jamaican public. The management of the RGR group also says it is unfortunate that in this stressful environment there is this added burden for its employees to deal with. And it was also highlighted that their coverage activities throughout the day were actually hampered because of today's development. And of course, they maintain that they will be maintaining a high level of security to ensure that none of their employees are affected or are hurt.
Several passengers who were scheduled to depart the island on Monday were left disappointed at the Norman Manley International Airport after their flights were cancelled. Wayne Walker journeyed to the airport and has this report.
Events over at Western Kingston and its surrounding areas are having an effect on almost every sector of society. The airline industry not escaping. We're standing here at the departure lounge at the Norman Manley International Airport. Not a lot going on, as you can see, and that's because all the major airlines have had cancellation at some point today of some of their flights, even some coming into the island. With no apparent end in sight to the current state of affairs in the Kingston and St. Andrew belt, these passengers who were scheduled to depart the island on Monday could be here for who knows how much longer. They did the hard work by getting to the airport to begin with, even though most came up on a blockade mounted by members of the army along South Kemp Road and East Queen Street, which would have taken them along the Hummingbird Corridor and onto the Sir Florizel Glasspole Highway. But having reached to the airport, they received the disappointing news of flight cancellation from American Airlines, Air Jamaica and British Airways.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed because I just took my son out of the hospital and I'm supposed to leave with him now. And he needs dressing and stuff by tomorrow, so what am I going to do?
I set up Saturday night, funeral yesterday, last night home, sleep this morning, get some sleep, reach here now to go back to work. I'm disappointed, really disappointed.
Not on a day like today how do you get here? You can't fly?
You were on the road trying to get here?
Yes, all morning.
Okay.
This route, that route, every kind of route. We finally made it, but too late.
And I'm very, very unhappy, but let God have his way. I hope everything will come to a good conclusion and everybody will settle down. May God bless Jamaica. Even though we have in crisis, I still love Jamaica. God bless.
And while those contemplate their next move, some arriving passengers are only too aware of the situation that they have come home to.
If the flight had been cancelled, I would be happier more than getting here when we hear what was happening. But let's hope it's better than what we were hearing at the time.
All Jamaicans calling their colleagues and friends, worried, wondering what's happening back home, scared for their families and friends.
For Jamaicans, they want to come home, but they are very scared.
So no one is taking any chances. Even managing director of the Jamaica Gleaner Company, Oliver Clark, who had a large security detail to accompany him and his arriving relatives from the airport. Wayne Walker for CVM News.
Thanks a lot, Wayne. And in the midst of the gunfire, there was looting in sections of the corporate area. And despite the seeming danger, some roadside vendors expressed outrage that they were not able to sell. Our coverage continues with Janella Precious.
We're on the usually busy Princess Street. Well, it has been transformed to practically a ghost town, and we witnessed that quite a few vendors had to abandon their stalls as gunshots continued to blaze in the downtown Kingston area. Quite a few of them actually came to sell today, but they had to abandon their plans.
The vendors covered their stalls clearly but we didn't get close enough to determine whether valuables were left behind. This situation means thousands of dollars lost for the street vendors, many of whom are women. Interestingly, some were hopeful that it would be business as usual Monday.
I want to sell and I can't sell because I don't have any food to go home to eat.
What about you? You came to sell too?
Yeah, can't sell.
From what time?
Come from about 7 o'clock.
However, an even bigger situation looms with several business owners in the downtown Kingston area concerned about looting. Thus far, at least 4 businesses were broken into Monday night. This occurred when the lights went out in sections of West Kingston.
Up to 10 o'clock, them still looting. Up to 8 o'clock. About 8 o'clock, them still looting West Queen Street. 2 shops down West Queen Street empty now. 1 furniture looking store and 17 West Queen Street. Those 2 shops now broken. And there's 89 Orange Street, Jackie Wholesale, empty. Over $100 million worth of goods. Done. Gone. Everything.
Up to late Monday afternoon, electricity had not been restored to Western Parade, where several wholesales are located. Concerns have been expressed by some business operators that if the unrest continues, the looting will be widespread. Residents also expressed concern about the absence of the police at critical periods in the vicinity. In the Malines Road area, a looter was caught red-handed by the police. His accomplices, who were reportedly armed, managed to escape with several items from this wholesale.
It's not just the merchants and residents living in West Kingston affected by this violence. Actually, we're here on King Street where a number of homeless persons have converged and they've been unable to have anything to eat since the violence started.
Hungry, helpless, frightened is how the homeless in downtown Kingston described the state of affairs in the area. Even as shots were being fired, their only place of refuge were the bare sidewalks.
We eat here, so we do everything right here, so we don't have any alternative, we don't have any help. It's not we choose this life, but I just saw it go. We just have to go and fight it and hope that's better come.
As we made our way back uptown, the military moved into some of the communities. They were met with great resistance by some residents in Tower Street.
Go inside your houses, please. Stay inside your houses.
This can't work, not because we are all citizens and I have all right. Them just come and run me off the sidewalk and I go on bad.
Say, no shot, no fire. I am say Central Kingston and Television take them on. Look, no shot, no fire.
No run no black, nobody.
No run no black, no, go on down here.
Janella Precious with that report. And there's a new twist to the controversy surrounding the constable who supplied the United States with evidence which led to the extradition request for Tivoli Gardens strongman Christopher Dudas Coke. The Ministry of National Security has now denied claims that authorization was given to the cop, noting that such an edict could only come from the courts. Phoebe Phillips-Lawrence reports.
It was just before the weekend the former police commissioner, Rear Admiral Hardy Lewin, declared that the cop who gave evidence to the United States government on Christopher Coke was merely carrying out orders from the police high command. He also labeled calls by the government for the identity of the constable to be revealed as smoke screen. But on Monday, the National Security Ministry refuted those comments. The Security Ministry said in a release, quote, "Not even the highest echelons of the police force can issue such authorization." End quote. The ministry added that the former commissioner is disregarding the fact that if information is to be used as evidence, the law says authorization should be given by a judge of the Supreme Court. This totally contradicts the information from Rear Admiral Lewin, who had insisted the cop did nothing wrong. When contacted, the Rear Admiral told CVM News that he has already spoken on the issue and has nothing more to say on the matter. But it seems the ministry wasn't pleased with the initial statements from the former top cop, as they also noted that the disregard for the provision of law coming from him is frightening. Phoebe Phillips-Lawrence, CVM News.
A public advisory now. The Overseas Examinations Commission, the OEC, says all CXC, GCE and University of London exams scheduled for Tuesday will be held. Candidates from centres affected by the unrest are being asked to turn up for exams at the Overseas Examinations Commission. The affected centres being asked to relocate are Charlie Smith High, Kingston College, Vauxhall High, Trenchtown High, Kingston High, Pentecostal Tabernacle, Emmanuel Apostolic, and the National Academy. And there have been changes for other exam venues as well. Candidates from Kingston Technical, St. Andrew Technical, and the East Queen Street Baptist Church should report to the Michael University College for their exams. Candidates from St. George's